Today's guest is a former restaurateur turned real estate investor focusing on multifamily and now hotel conversions. I'd like to welcome Dave Garpstas.
Yeah, so I started out in high school, got into the restaurant game. My brother had a bar and restaurant that I worked at and basically did that for the better part of my life. To keep the story kind of short, decided to pursue real estate sales and went from the restaurant and dove headfirst into selling real estate. The first property we bought traditionally with 20% down. It took too long. You know, I was ready to really explode and grow faster. So we started utilizing hard money for anything we could find value add. Would go through the whole BRRRR process, refi, get it stabilized, move on to the next thing. But then through that, I realized that wasn't fast enough and how many freaking doors I would need for me to get financial independence, which is what turned me on to multifamily.
You know, as you emerged into adulthood, you bought a restaurant?
Yeah, with my brother and a handful of partners, we bought in Southwest Baltimore City. We found an old row home that was converted into a bar like in the 1940s.
Did you view it as a real estate investment or did you view it as a bar investment?
For us, the real estate was always the security piece. We could dictate if things didn't work out, we'd have something that we could liquidate and make ourselves whole again.
Just out of curiosity, what does it cost to buy a bar?
So the bar in Baltimore we purchased for $375,000, and it was about a 1,200 square foot space on the main level, which we operated out of, and then had a 2-bedroom apartment upstairs, 2-bed, 1-bath apartment. But that was liquor license, that was FFE, that was everything. And that was right when Baltimore was really starting to blow up. So it was right time, right place kind of thing.
As you mentioned, you bought pre-construction land in Belize?
Was going through this personal shift of like wanting to be somewhere other than central Pennsylvania. I had done a bunch of research and one of the places that kept popping up was Ambergris Caye, Belize. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to reach out to a real estate agent in the community. I'm going to fly down. I'm just going to tour the properties, see what's going on in the community. Had I gone down as a tourist, I would have done touristy things. Going down as a real estate investor, I got to see the behind the scenes, the nuts and bolts, the important things as to what made Belize a great investment spot. And I had then met my now wife, and we had only been together about 4 months or so. And I had said to her, like, hey, you want to buy some land in paradise? And she's like, all right, whatever. So she and I joined up and we purchased 4 lots up there. And there was just something inside. It was just like, just hold off. It didn't feel right. And then just like that, COVID happened. And
so you built your portfolio, and how did that start?
So the multifamily started with that first syndication. It was a collection of 6 buildings. We operate in the B-C class type of real estate. You know, from the B and C perspective, I feel like there's some safety in it if it's in a good area. I mean, we've had properties in some rough areas. There's great people that rent everywhere. And if you're providing that good quality asset, no matter what classification you give that asset, you're going to find a tenant. You know, it's not like I'm buying in Detroit or some of these other places that, you know, maybe are a little bit more challenging, but, you know, putting good quality tenants in different places and taking care of the asset really changes the stigma of what a B or C can be.
So I know you got into hotels. How did this happen? And tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah. So when we went from that first syndication, we ended up buying a handful of other apartment buildings in the western part of the county. And again, just following this vision of wanting to grow my net worth and grow my future financial success. And there was just something that was missing there. And in conjunction with doing all the multifamily stuff, my business specifically, we operate in short-term rentals, you know, scattered site short-term rentals. It was one of those things that I've always been looking for a way to scale the short-term rental business, you know, and just like going from single family to multifamily, the next logical step for me was, well, a motel. And, you know, we drive by these roadside motels on a regular basis and, you know, they're poised and ready to go. And to me, it's the multifamily of short-term rentals. So
I've been intrigued by short-term rentals for a long time, you know, but I've been sticking with multifamily forever.
Just like everywhere else, the competition on multifamily around Lancaster is insane. But, you know, the competition, it is what it is. But the motel, we didn't see the competition level there. But the cash flow on it, I mean, everything that you would underwrite for multifamily, you're underwriting for a motel. And we have the ability to automate everything for the motel, just as like you can build your systems for multifamily. And at the end of the day, the previous owners were spitting off, you know, 15 to almost 18% cash on cash returns without even trying, in a place that was like, we come in, we do what we know how to do, we can bump and get really awesome cash flow on it. So to me, it's exactly the same as multifamily.
So yeah, is there a failure or mistake that you made early on that you like look back and it was kind of key to your success?
I would say the biggest mistake is that I waited so long. I'm exactly where I'm at in life because I'm supposed to be here. I've come to the conclusion that's true. What I have also found is that especially through GoBundance, and I didn't know that I qualified for GoBundance at one point in time. So I signed up for Jamie's like intro programs. With that, I realized that there was a lot of internal work I needed to do. Through that process, I've learned to really follow what energizes me inside. And if I would have followed the things that excited and energized me back when I first started feeling those feelings, I think my life would look a lot different right now. So I would say that, your gut intuition, I feel like, is there for a reason. And I feel like through this process, I've really learned to harness that and to follow that and to listen to that. And had I done that prior to, I probably would be a lot further ahead than I am right now. But
what's a trait you have that has served you best both in real estate and in life?
Playing full out, man. I was just talking there's a girl that works in our office, and if I commit to doing something, I just need to learn just a little bit, and then I take it and I run with it, and I don't stop until I achieve it. And that has been something that, through the restaurant, through real estate, I won't quit. I mean, that's for me, I'm so damn competitive with myself, and that has been what has helped and served me the most.
Cool. Is there a daily habit that brings you the most benefit?
I hate to probably be a broken record for everybody else you talk to, but the morning ritual is huge. I periodically would take the weekends off. I have 4 young kids and 1 on the way. A good night's sleep is hard to come by, but the mornings where I do not practice getting up, exercising, meditating, praying, journaling, the mornings I don't do that, I feel like my day goes off very differently than the mornings when I do.
Great. And finally, how can listeners reach out to you?
I have a love-hate relationship with social media. I'm trying to be more on there, but I feel like it does more disservice for me than it does service. You can reach me at dgarpstas@gmail.com or my phone number, 717-208-0253.
All right. Well, thank you so much. That was great. Really fascinating. The Belize, the hotel. I am familiar with multifamily, and you've got a great multifamily track record, but that other stuff was cool to hear about.
Cool. That was awesome being on here, man. It's like I said to you earlier, it's surreal that real estate could make this conversation happen. I mean, you're a celebrity, man, and I get to talk to you. It's just super cool. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, it was great talking to you as well. What a cool story.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, Mark.
Thanks, Dave. See ya.